name is Peter Lipsitt. I'm here at ArtCurrent Gallery in Provincetown for a show with Susan Israel, partly collaborative and partly solo for each of us. The work here in this second room is my solo work, and it's made again from cast plaster and from cement, most of it. And then there are insertions of various kinds of found objects and other materials, including sticks that beavers have prepared in Vermont for my use. They have cut the wood and they've nibbled the wood, and it becomes very beautifully sculpted along. So I consider them to be my assistants. So this particular piece that I started with here, by the way, I'll go back. I feel like I'm in Provincetown tradition because I studied with three people who had experience here in Provincetown: Peter Grippy, William Zorak, Jack Tworkoff. These people have had a history in Provincetown, so they were my mentors at various times in my life, and they influenced my work. So I feel that I have learned and become maybe part of this community. This work also relates to the sea, even though some of it began before my work with Susan. And we both grew up near the ocean, on Buzzards Bay actually, and so a lot of the works have a sense of the sea in them. So this particular one looks like maybe a trap or a lobster container or some kind of thing from the sea. It's non-specific, and it was one of the first ones I made. Actually, the first one is this one called U-R. Means kind of grandparent in German, and in the Middle East, it's related to the word the ziggurat at So it has some resonance for me. It's made out of macadam road material as well as plaster. And I found the bricks here on site, and somehow it works really beautifully together with the piece. But it was the first one, and then out of that casting of materials came all these other works. So let's move on to this other location here. This is a historic moment, I think, for us in this culture and in the world because of the crises that we have that are environmental, and these groups of works that we have here reflect that crisis to some extent, or to a great extent. And so I have here various animal-like forms, other kinds of casts. Here is a piece called Dig, which relates to my experience as a kid clamming and quahogging on Buzzards Bay. So this contains shells from quahogs. And this particular one is kind of a creature that is imaginary and very much non-existent, probably, in biological terms. This one, an old professor used to say that the seas connect, and so the roots between peoples, between continents, are heavily used by immigrants and visitors from one place to another. So I call this Oceans Connect. So the copper wire connects all these different roots and lines and kind of almost like buoys that are in the water. The drawings that are here, they were done at a different time, but I felt that they were analogous to the sculpture in some ways. They relate to the sculpture, reflect off of the sculpture, just because they're near each other, and because, of course, they're done by the same artist. And so these, they help you to reflect on the works, and you see the lines somehow are reflected in the work. Drawing is such an important aspect of the work itself. These pieces here, these are the most recent ones, these small ones here. They are cast from Chinese takeout boxes. So that is another aspect of the recycled materials. The plaster, of course, is not recycled, or the cement is not recycled or repurposed. It is the other materials that are in the works that are recycled. So there are shells, oyster shells here, and bamboo chopsticks inserted into the work. They create a space between forms, and they penetrate the forms. You can see in a number of different works. So I hope that you will come to this show. It is on through the 8th. It's a short exhibition of 2 weeks, and you might find something that you like.